Where was God during slavery? Imagine you had a house and you made rules for your house and you have children and your children know the rules that's in your house, but they keep on disrespecting you, keep breaking the rules in your house over and over and over again. That wouldn't be a sign of disrespect. They just keep disrespecting you. I'm talking about throwing the dishes and just jumping all on your furniture and jumping on the tables, right? They just keep on disrespecting your house. What would you do? You would punish your children, wouldn't you? So when we talk about the children of Israel, where was God during slavery? He turned his hand away from them like he said he would. Lamentations chapter 1, verses 1 through 3. Jeremiah chapter 33 talks about Judah going into captivity because they didn't do right in the eyes of the Most High. They were sacrificing their children into the fire of Molech, sacrificing their children, mingling with the other nations. So you do that, now you're messing up your bloodline. Now you're messing up your inheritance. Because these other nations, they don't worship the Most High God. They worship fallen angels, demons. They worship little gods. And so when the nations of Israel, when they were mingling with these other nations, they was causing them to go away from the Most High. And so if your children keep disrespecting you over and over again, you're going to have to punish them. Now, in Lamentations, he talks about our iniquities. He's going to take it away from us, our iniquities, right? He's going to pardon our iniquity, which is our sins. And so after a certain period of time, he brought us out of it. And there's a shift happening right now, a spiritual shift. That's why all this stuff going on right now. They're going to get what's coming to them. We ain't got to worry. We just got to get the popcorn ready. And keep that Christ spirit. But where was God during slavery? He was right there. But he said he was going to turn his hand away from us. Because of disrespect. The disrespect won't be tolerated. And people, they still disrespecting Christ. Like he not coming back. He coming back in the clouds. That's what the scriptures say. But that's where God was during slavery. Because we need to go through that. This is why the Most High told us one of his rules was don't be mixing with the other nations. Because it's going to bring you away from him. And that's what happened. I'll give you an example. We see all these black NBA players. They got their white wife, Latino wife, right? Most NBA and athletes, they got white wives, right? They got all this money, all this wealth. But guess what happens when they die? That money ain't going back to the black community. It's not going back to the nation that it came from. That inheritance is going to another nation, right? It's going back to that white family, that white wife family. So that's just an example. But God told us stop mingling with the other nations. And they didn't listen. They thought it was more fun. They thought they were just having a good time. And that's all niggas want to do is have a good time instead of taking care of business. That's why King Solomon had 1,000 wives and concubines, because he was doing business with the other nations and they would give him wives as compensation for doing business. That's why he had all these wives. And the wives took him away from the Most High. And that's where he was doing all this demon work. He got a whole book full of 72 demons like they Pokemon, right? But he learned that from these women from the other nations. Now, at the end of his life, he came back and said, it's always been about the Most High. So he came back and repented. But that's why King Solomon, that's why he has so many wives, because he was dealing with the other nations, and it took him away from our God. That's why people, we got to read, man. We got to read the scriptures, man. It give you the answers. It give you the answers. You just got to take the time. Where was God during slavery? He said he was going to hide his hand from us. He loves us. You love your children, but when they don't do right, you can't keep giving them chance after chance. They got to learn. After a while, they got to learn. One more thing. And it was the nation of Israel that gave up Christ to Rome so he could be crucified. It was your own people, the Pharisees and the Sadducees, because they was jealous. Don't we see that today? All skin folk ain't kin folk. Ain't that what people say, right? Uncle Tom, Sambo, ain't that what we say? So it be your own people. The Most High not gonna keep up putting up with all this disrespect. That's just what it is. And that's where God was during slavery. He said he was gonna hide his hand, and he did. And you may not like the decision that God made to put Israel in captivity, in slavery. But guess what? That's his business. If that's what he felt like he needed to do, then that's what he needed to do. Who are we to question the Creator? We sit up here and act like we just so righteous. Like none of us have ever sinned before. But if everybody got their punishment as quickly as we expected to happen, then none of us would be here. None of us, we would all be suffering. If we was going to get the punishment we all deserve, thank God for Jesus. None of us would be here.